Hi guys, today I have two first impressions videos to film in one. The first one is the MUA BB cream because I know so many of you have asked me to do a first impressions kind of a daily test on this product and just generally a review. So that's going to be this video. I finally picked it up in, I believe, the lightest shade. It just says light. Does it have another name as well? Light shade 1, and it says it primes, smooths and conceals. So my plan is just to use this and a powder. I'm not going to use anything else. My skin is freshly washed, haven't moisturised, haven't done anything. So this is going to be my base. I'm not going to use any concealer or anything. And then I'm going to try this, which is the One Heck of a Blot from Soap & Glory, and this is their blotting powder. So I've heard good things about this. As soon as I heard about it, I knew I had to try it because this is kind of an oily skinned girl's dream. I've been using the Miracle Matte from 17, which I really love, but I want to try something different, and I was eyeing up the MAC blotting powder until I saw this, so I'm going to try this on top. I'm not going to blot at all. I'm basically just going to put the MUA BB cream on and put this on, and then I will catch up with you midday. And then maybe by the end of the day I will hopefully tell you that this is the most amazing combination I've ever found. And I'm going to apply it to one half of my face so you can see what difference it really makes. It is quite a thick consistency. It's not like other BB creams that I've tried. In fact, that's not true. The original Garnier BB cream is really quite thick. But I don't know how much I'm going to need to use. I'm just going to apply it with my fingers because that's generally how I would apply all foundations, at least at first. It's a lot thicker than I expected it to be, and it doesn't blend well, or at least it's not kind of spreading, if you know what I mean. Much higher coverage than I anticipated, and a lot lighter once I got it on my skin. It's actually maybe even too light for me. So that's kind of a one kind of light coverage of it. I think you can definitely see the difference, mainly because it is a little bit too light for me, but I think that this can probably be layered. You can definitely see, like, I have pigmentation here that I also have on this side that's been quite well concealed, little bits of redness that you can't see as badly anymore. I still would probably need something additional for these kind of blemishes that are going away, but generally it's kind of here that I'm looking at for a foundation to even out, and I think that that's done a pretty good job without it looking particularly heavy. Yeah, so I'm going to finish the rest of my face and come back. Okay, so my first impression is it's actually quite dry on my face. With most BB creams I'm expecting to be some element of kind of moisture, and it's not at all. It's more like a non-oily, what's the word I'm looking for? Oil-free foundation. So if you're expecting it to kind of act as a moisturiser as well, I would say put a moisturiser underneath, because my skin is quite oily, but I have just washed my face, and so I don't know if that's got something to do with it, but normally I wouldn't use a moisturiser. I'd maybe use a sun cream, like an SPF, if I was going outside. A lot of the time, you know, I spend a lot of time indoors, but I don't go out of my way to kind of prime or put a moisturiser on my face at all, and I don't normally have an issue. The MUA Naked Skin, or Undress Your Skin I think it's called, is amazing. I love that stuff. But this kind of clings to the dry patches, so we'll see how it goes. It's maybe not the ideal product to test the blotting powder out with, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. But I can see kind of here where I've had breakouts, and I've obviously used products that are designed to dry those breakouts out. I have a little bit of dry skin here, and it didn't actually look bad at all until I put the makeup on, and then it separated and made it look a little bit strange. So whether or not as my skin gets oilier throughout the day this will actually start to look better, because that has been known to happen. A little bit like when you put a great oil-free or an oil-absorbing powder on in the morning, sometimes it looks a little bit cakey. By the time I've left the house, it looks fine. So whether or not it's designed to do that, we will see. But I'm just going to set it with this, the One Heck of a Blotting powder, wherever I've put my brush. I'm just going to set it with this, and wow, yes, this is exactly what I expected it to do. If you can see, it's really powdery. It's not finely milled, it's very powdery. It's a lot like the number 17 one. I think that when it is kind of something that's designed to be blotting, you get more, I don't know what the other word that I'm looking for is, not powdery, it's just, it is powdery though. It's more powder than maybe like the Naked, is it called Naked Skin? The Nearly Naked from Revlon, that is very finely milled. You don't really, it feels like you have to really work to get the powder out, but it still does the job. And it's a very fine covering that you get. You get coverage, but you don't get it doesn't look like powder on your face. I'm not a very good describer of these things, but this will look like powder on my face. So I'll just kind of put that little covering on there, and I look uber pale, but this area I'm definitely looking kind of flaky and dry. So that's not my favourite so far, but the rest of my skin looks pretty good. I'm not seeing it settling a little bit in my pores here. I'm really surprised because I wasn't expecting it to be designed for oily skin. I wasn't expecting it to be like that, but we'll see how it goes. I usually expect a BB cream to be more for normal to dry skin, so it may just be that MUA have found one that is going to be better for oilier skin, so it may be a good thing, but we will see as the day progresses. I'm just going to finish off my makeup and come back. So I did put a little bit of bronzer on, a little bit of blush, just to put a little bit of colour back into my face because I was so pale looking. Did my eyebrows and put on a little bit of mascara, but otherwise I didn't put any concealer on, no other base products, because I really want to see how this works. I also want to see how it holds the face products on top of it. So obviously some foundations, some tinted moisturisers kind of separate around where you've put bronzer and blush and things like that. So it is still an important test to see that, and I'm interested to see how this fares. But so far, like my very, very first impressions, I'm not entirely enamoured of this product. I really don't like how it's clung to the dry patches on my chin. It's really creased underneath my eyes. I have had to kind of like blend those out a little bit because there were some creases under my eyes within a couple of minutes of applying it, and it's definitely going to kind of settle where you don't want it to. So unless your skin is very, very normal or very, very oily, which mine isn't when I first put my makeup on in the morning, it gets oily throughout the day. I don't wake up and my face looks like an oil slick. So unless yours is really, really oily, this may not be for you. So we'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see how it is kind of midway through once my skin does start to get oily, especially as it's a bit warm today. But yeah, so far I'm not loving it. So I think that it is getting a little bit better as it wears. Like I said, sometimes the products that are kind of mattifying do seem to get better as your skin produces oil because it absorbs the oil and then it kind of looks better. And so I think it is getting better. However, I've still got a lot of dryness here that's really obvious and I really don't like that. So that's putting me off at the moment, but the rest of my skin is pretty normal. I don't have any dry patches because I wasn't kind of drying out any blemishes anywhere else, and so everywhere else seems to be pretty good. I'm still matte, it's about 3 hours later, but it's just the dry patches that's really bothering me. So I'll be interested to see how they are at the end of the day, but I'll probably check in again kind of around 4, and then I'll tell you kind of bedtime what I think. I thought I would film the last instalment of this video now, about 7 o'clock it is now, because it's pretty much bedtime in my house. And I didn't end up doing the kind of 4 o'clock-ish timed, what's the word I'm looking for, update, because my skin really didn't change with the BB cream on it. I found that the coverage lasted maybe 4 or 5 hours and then it started to wear away. I'm definitely seeing kind of some marks here again now, and on my chin it lasted pretty terribly, but I think it is because of the quality of the skin on my chin right now. I did mention earlier I have got dryness here because of some blemishes that I was trying to get rid of, so that's not normal for me to have that, but obviously for some people you do suffer with dryness, and for those people I would not recommend this product. I think it's basically aimed at people with particularly oily skin, which is fantastic because there's not that many products out there that really do work for people with oily skin, and the rest of my face, which is kind of normal / combination oily, is really, really matte, and I'm sure that has a lot to do with the powder from Soap and Glory, which I'm loving. Haven't powdered at all day, and I'm not having that. That's just down to the MUA BB cream. I'll definitely be using the powder again, but I would just say that I probably wouldn't use the BB cream again unless my skin was totally normal, no kind of imperfections at all. The Soap and Glory powder I'm really pleased with because I haven't had to blot or powder all day. I've been out in the sun. It's been a warm day, so I'm very, very impressed with that, and I will let you know how I get on with it, probably in a favourites video. I can already tell that I'm going to love that. But I hope that you didn't mind me reviewing them both at the same time. I hope it wasn't too rambly. I know with videos like this it gets a little bit incoherent because I'm filming little bits at a time. I never can remember what I've said, and so I repeat myself a lot. So apologies for that, but I hope this is good for those of you that wanted this video and requested a review. Sorry for those of you that wanted me to love it, but I just don't. I will try it again, like I say, because my skin isn't normally dry, but I think it's important to try it when you haven't got perfect skin, because if I had got totally normal skin today, then it wouldn't be a very good test of the product. And, you know, some of you with dry skin would have gone out and bought it maybe on my recommendation and it would have been terrible. So if you tried this, loved it, hated it, leave me a comment below, because it's always good to hear from other people and see how you think about it, because it's just one of those things. Mascaras, foundations, any kind of skincare, it all depends on the individual, and it's good to see as many reviews as possible. So if you guys have tried it, leave a comment and let us know how you got on with it. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to check out all of the links below and subscribe if you haven't already. Bye!